Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. For this opportunity, let me introduce myself. My name is Aqilah Luthfiyyah. In this video, I wanna answer all of the question about ESP in the midterm test. So now I want to answer the question number 1. The question is, explain what is ESP in brief. So English for specific purpose, or we usually call it ESP, is a learner-centered approach to teaching English as an additional language, focusing on developing communicative competence in specific disciplines such as academic, accounting, archaeology, business, IT, teaching, and engineering. English for academic purpose taught to students before or during their degree. Not only for students, but ESP can also be obtained by people who have worked with reference to the vocabulary and certain skill they need. Certain ESP courses will focus on a single job or profession, such as technical English, scientific English, English for medical professional, English for waiters, English for tourism, and so on. Just like any language taught for special purpose, ESP courses such as environmental English can have a broad impact even if the emphasis seems narrow. So I want to answer the next question, that is, what the 3 main reasons to the emergence of ESP. So there are 3 common reasons for the emergence of all ESP. The first is the demand of the brave new world. The effect of all this influence creates as a new world of people who want to learn English, not for the pleasure or prestige of learning the language, but because English is the key of the development of technology and commerce. The second reason mentioned had such a tremendous impact on the emergence of ESP was the revolution in linguistics. While traditional linguistics began to describe the futures of a language, revolutionary pioneers in linguistics began to focus on the way language is used in a real communication. One of the key findings, according to Hutchinson and Waters, is the difference between spoken and written English. In other words, the English variation will change depending on the situation in which it is used. This concept was further developed. If language differ in a different setting, language education can be tailored to suit the needs of learners in certain scenarios. As a result, various attempts to define English for science and technology were undertaken in late 1960 and early 1970. The third factor, that is Hutchinson and Waters attribute to the origin of ESP, has nothing to do with language and is all about psychology. Instead of focusing solely on a language delivery techniques, greater emphasis is placed on the many methods by which learners acquire language and the variation between them. Students are seen to use various learning techniques, abilities, and learning schemes, and are driven by various needs and interests. As a result, focusing on the needs of learners become as important as the means used to disseminate linguistic information. So now I want to answer the question number 3. ESP has a number of features that distinguish it from general English, and these features are distinguished into absolute characteristic and variable characteristic by Stratford. The first, that is absolute characteristic. Absolute characteristic That is, first, ESP is designed to meet the special needs of students. Next is ESP leverage the methodologies and activity underlying the discipline itself. The next is ESP is centered on language, skills, discourse, and a genre that are appropriate to the activity. The next one is variable characteristic. ESP may be related to or designed for a specific discipline. Next is ESP may use in certain teaching situation a methodology different from that of general English. The next is the ESP may be designed for adult learner either at the tertiary level of an institution or in a professional work situation. It can be used for students in a middle school level. Next is ESP is generally designed for intermediate or advanced learners. Then the last is most ESP courses assume basic knowledge of a language system but can be used with beginners. So now the next one, I want to answer the question number 4. That is, explain the procedure of need analysis in ESP. The procedure of step in need analysis is according to MC Clips in 1987. MC Clips identified 5 steps in need analysis. The step 1 is determine who will utilize the need, analyze and how they will use it. The second step, that is, describe the target audience and the setting in which they will be served. The next step is identify needs. The next step is determine the relevance of the requirement. The last question is share your findings. So now I want to answer the question number 5. The question number 5 is the difference of ESP and EGP. ESP is focused on the training, and then ESP concentrate more on language and context than on teaching grammar and a language structure. ESP is built on an assessment of purpose or needs and the function for which English is required. In ESP, it's a need analysis that determines which language skills are most needed by the student and the syllabus is designed accordingly. ESP is likely designed for an adult learner either at a tertiary level in an institution or in a professional work situation. So now I want to talk about AGP. AGP is focused on the English language in primary and secondary school education. EGP is to achieve a high standard of everyday English communication skill. It covers the 4 main skills of reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Course content is more difficult to select since the future English needs of the learner are hard to predict. The next question is explain briefly 3 approaches to need analysis. The 3 approaches to need analysis are target task, task type, and pedagogic tasks. Target tasks are complete outside of the classroom in a response to target language input or processing, whereas pedagogical tasks are complete inside the classroom in a response to target language input or processing. You can pick from 3 distinct sorts of tasks. As a result, the tasks have grown in scope. Third, task management in project management is significantly more involved with pre-planned work than with the sort of tasks previously outlined, which tend to develop on their own. You can achieve a main objective by completing a large number of pre-planned duties. Simply said, the occupations are a component of a higher level process that requires meticulous planning. There are several people participating, and they must all coordinate their effort with one another and with the objects of, and with the project's objective. So I want to answer the last question, that is why need analysis is important in ESP. Teachers of ESP can utilize needs analysis to discover the primary criteria or needs of their student and determine which skill they need to improve. Academics have disagreed over what should be the emphasis of needs analysis. Benes feel that learning requirements are simply tied to the demand of the target environment. But Hutchinson and Waters describe learning needs as what the learner must do in order to learn. The empirical data to other academics, like as Taylor and Cowling, show that requirement analysis is critical to the effectiveness of the teaching and learning process in ESP. As a result, it's clear that when teachers understand their students' learning needs analysis may help them adjust to a new learning method. By recognizing them as learners in general, needs analysis will reveal the inadequacies and strengths of the talents that they may apply in a probable commercial or academic situation. As a result, the current research adds to the existing body of information on ESP needs analysis. Thank you. I think that's enough. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.